Hey guys, the section of violence here. We got another one for you. We got UFC 305 Duplessis versus Adesanya. Man, pretty stacked card. Not the greatest, but decent card, I'd say. A lot better than the card we just had to go through. But yeah, let's start it off. We got Stewart, Nicoll versus Jesus Aguilar. Not going to speak about this fight too much. Relatively unknown guy, home home country. Um, I think he wins. It's not because he's amazing. He's a hometown guy. Fought relatively nobody on bum cards out in Australia, but he's finishing people. Aguilar is a bum, but he's beat guys in the UFC. Even though the guys he's beaten are bums, I think he beats most bums, but I don't know. The thing about Stewart is he hasn't shown that he can, hang with guys in the UFC. So this is a big just mystery box fight. How this fight's gonna play out, no one really knows. I think Jesus Aguilar is dangerous on the feet. He's got a KO threat for sure. The guy's, something dangerous on the feet. But I think so is Stewart. I think someone's gonna get KO'd. But I could also see this going to a decision, being close. Weird one, man. Really weird one. Eileen Nicoll, Stewart Nicoll, but close fight. Definitely think the odds are a little wide. I'm gonna do more tape on it this week, and I'll get back to you guys in the Discord. Hope you guys join that Discord. Lots of good information in there every week, and don't want you guys to miss out. But anyways, guys, moving on to the next fight, we have Ricky Glenn taking on Kenan Song. Kenan Song he's got KO power, but he doesn't go for it enough. He's content being sharp and within himself. He'll beat guys like Rolando Bedoya because they're just not doing the right things. He does the right things. And luckily he's fighting an old man because Ricky Glenn is awful. And he's not so young himself, but he's still, in his prime. 34, it's not too bad. Um, this is a weird one, man. Because he loses to Kevin Doucette dominantly. Max Griffin dominantly. I don't know. I think Kenan Song wins this fight pretty soundly, but I'm not gonna bet it. Only reason I would think he would dominate this fight is because he's fighting Ricky Glenn, who is 35. No, it's not even his age. That's his chin has just not aged very well. I think he can get KO'd very easily. I think Kenan Song by KO, depending on the price, is definitely live. We'll see though. Um, yeah, I think Kenan Song wins this fight. Don't have an interest in betting this fight, but I think Kenan Song wins. Uh, yeah, we'll see though. Because if this fight somehow exceeded the scorecards, I could see Ricky Glenn keeping it close. So I don't have any interest in the money line. Just kind of like the first fight, it's a little wide, not wide. Sorry, this fight isn't wide. But money line, I don't know. I think if you get what I'm trying to say, like if this fight goes to a decision, the money line could seem pretty wide. So I'm not gonna touch this fight. I'm just gonna watch, but we'll see. we'll see. I might have a position on the KO prop depending on what number they give us. Yeah. Moving on, we have Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. What is this matchup? If Tom Nolan loses this fight, I will be shocked. Alex Reyes, why are you in the UFC? Um, your last win was 2017, and it wasn't even in the UFC. Like, why are you in the UFC? He's gonna get KO'd again. He's Dominic Reyes' brother. That's his best accomplishment. He's gonna get KO'd again. Tom Nolan is very, very chinny, but he is the real deal as far as danger factor on the feet. And I think he's gonna take out Alex Reyes and do it emphatically, representing Australia. Yeah, not gonna overthink it. Yeah, but -1,000 Tom Nolan, no thank you. So definitely gonna look for props, KO props. Um, definitely just if I can get anything under -150, I'm all over it. But we'll see though. I'm probably gonna get be -200 and above. So if that's the case, maybe parlay it with something. But the Tom Nolan KO is gonna be pretty free this fight. If what I think is gonna happen happens. So yeah, Tom Nolan KO. We'll see what happens. Moving on. We have Herbert Burns versus Jack Jenkins. Another fight where it's like I don't need to go into these fights pretty long. Herbert Burns is damaged goods, quits, no cardio. Um, he's lost to he's got TKO'd in the second round to Julio Arce, Bill Algeo, Daniel Pineda. Definitely gonna go Jack Jenkins round 2, round 3 TKO. Herbert Burns has a round of cardio, if that. And yeah, Herbert Burns is a quitter. Not gonna overthink this one. This one's pretty easy. Jack Jenkins, if he gets to the ground with the thing with this fight, why I don't want to bet the money line is because if Jack Jenkins can't get the fight to the ground, um, he's in trouble because Herbert Burns can submit him. Jack Jenkins is a fish on the ground, so there is some path to victory here, but I'm gonna go with Jack Jenkins. He's just clean, decent takedown defense. Decent. I didn't say good. I said decent. Um, yeah. Chepin Mariscal was a fluke. He was beating the crap out of Chepa on the feet. I think he's gonna finish. I think he could finish Burns in the first round. So if you do take Jack take his KO prop, take his KO 2, KO 3. I just think Jack's gonna beat the crap out of Herbert. I just don't think Herbert has anything for him on the feet, and I think Herbert's gonna be scared, and he's gonna get chewed up his legs, and by the second and third, he's gonna be panic shooting, and he's gonna get TKOs. So, gonna go with Jack Jenkins here. Moving on, we have Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Casey O'Neill, man. It's a Casey O'Neill fight. She's also damaged goods. Like I like Casey. She's a good fighter, or she was a good. I don't know if she was. Her striking's awful. She's at fight ready now, which is a decent move. They have good game plans. She's got good heart. Decent grappling, decent. She's pretty mid if we're being honest. Luana Santos is not only is she not she's great, not great, but she's not bad. And I think she's slightly better than Casey O'Neill. And I think the odds are pretty fair and representative of that. I don't think this is a spot worth playing. I think Luana Santos is a fade worth come day, worth playing one day. I think Casey O'Neill's cardio is better. I think Luana Santos' skills are better. So it's one of those fights that I have no interest in playing, but Santos probably wins. Also, Casey O'Neill's, from Australia. You get some, hometown maybe love. You never know with these judges. I'm just gonna stay away from this one. This one's a mess of a fight for me. I lean Luana, but it's a weird one. It's a weird one for sure. Casey O'Neill, and I feel like the grappling's pretty even. If not, Luana's grappling's better with the judo. But I just think Casey O'Neill is. Her knee surgeries is what worries me. I think I don't know if she can handle Luana Santos. I think I could see a Uchimata gone wrong or her knees give it. I just don't trust the knees. I gotta go with Luana Santos here, and yeah, I think she wins this fight by decision, but we'll see, or even submission. Moving on, we got Josh Culibao taking on Ricardo Ramos. Ricardo Ramos is awful. I mean, he's experienced and he's got some skill, obviously, but he's the worst black belt, one of the worst black belts I've ever seen. Like, how do you have a black belt but you're constantly losing by guillotine? Like, I'm not saying, you know, getting caught by guillotine at the highest level can't happen, but it's not even at the highest level, and it's frustrating, man. Ricardo Ramos, yeah, like he lost to Jourdain. Erosa's a tough cat to deal with, but Jourdain guillotine, like, I don't like that at all. And you look at the guys he's KO. Danny Chavez, not great. Beat Bellagio, not aging great. He beat Grigori, not great. Journey Newsom, not great. Kyung Ho Kang split. It's like, his hobby wasn't as good back then. And if you look at how old is Ramos? Like, he must be like, oh my god, he's only 29. I don't know. I don't like Ramos that much. Not a bad fighter. The guys are about the same. This is a coin flip of a fight. I'm gonna lean with Culibao just because he has more of a process. He's more reserved, conservative, keeps within himself. I think he will have the better optics. Won't be spinning all over the place. Gotta go. He could get dropped at times. Coolabao's chin's always a question. Um, but we'll see. This is a coin flip fight. I lean Coolabao. I have no real conviction in betting this fight. I like the over more than I like betting this fight. Um, and I like money, so I don't want to waste money on this fight. But we'll see. I got Culibao by decision, but it's a close fight, and I could see this, getting hairy. So don't go crazy with this one. Definitely proceed with caution, and yeah, go with your gut on this one, because I have no strong conviction with betting this fight. Yeah, I got Culibao by decision. Moving on, we got Junior Tafa versus Valter Walker. Yeah. Junior Tafa, if he doesn't KO Valter Walker, I'll be so confused. Now, Junior Tafa can't really stuff takedowns, and that's my worry. Valter Walker will shoot. Good takedowns, but he'll shoot. It doesn't take much to take Tafa down. Now, if Bresky can work back to his feet, I think Tafa can. He's trained, for a decent little bit on his get-ups. If you look at his wins, Valter's wins, he's beat Alex Nicholson, for the love of God, and all the other bums. Like, that's not good. Junior Tafa, on the other hand, is only 5-2. Yeah, I get it. He got beat by Marcos Rodrigo de Lima, but he's a decent heavyweight. Muhammad Usman, I get it. That's not a good one. That's not a good one at all. I get that. I get it. I get it'd be enough to run away from this fight. And if you want to skip this fight, I completely understand. But at plus money, I'd be more likely to take the hometown guy who's got the KO power, who's got the. Because when Valter's on top of you, he doesn't do anything. I think Junior Tafa can do enough to either get stood up, get the KO, land the bigger shots, win the optics. I gotta go Junior Tafa here. Plus money. I feel like he should be the favorite. We'll see though. Could be a pick'ems. I get that. It could be a value loser, but if this wasn't in his home, I wouldn't even bother touching this fight. But I think he has a lot. I think he's the A side, and I just don't like the fact that he's an underdog. Um, and even negative 105, I think he's got value up to negative 150. But yeah, guys, be careful with this fight. It's heavyweight MMA. I didn't think Martin Tarboro would get. I didn't think you'd get Armbird off his back by Spivak. Like that's crazy. So heavyweight MMA, always remember. Be careful. Yeah. Moving on though. I got Justin Tafa by TKO in the second and third round. Moving on. We have Li Jingliang versus Carlos Prates. Fun fight. Um, Prates, this is a big test for him. He's fighting a really, really game opponent, Li Jingliang. Prates is the truth. He is very dangerous on the feet. Lee ain't gonna shoot. He's gonna be very elusive on the feet, staying on the outside. He's Carlos Prates has taken out Giles, which he was also getting boxed up before the knockdown or the knockout. Sorry, kind of similar to the DDP fight. Um, yeah, I don't know. Prates is still kind of yet to prove himself. He has to beat some people. It's interesting. I'm gonna go with Prates, but he hasn't really proven anything yet. He's a very good striker, elite, dangerous, good get-ups, good team, fighting nerds, love the team. But man, something about him, I don't trust him completely. So, especially against a striker like Li Jingliang, anything can happen. So, just gonna pass him this one, even though he should smoke Lee. But we'll see what happens. I got Prates here, but people are gonna be playing him pretty wide, so I don't really see a point in playing him at these odds. So yeah, gonna go with Prates by KO, but could see this getting close in the feet. Moving on, we have Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Tai Tuivasa. Uh, so Tai Tuivasa is fighting once again. He's 14-7. He's it's not quite at a point where I'm really really concerned, but he's lost four in a row. Tybura, that loss is aging very bad. Um, he's got TKO'd. He's got finished in all four of his losses. Rozenstruik's he has KO power. I'm gonna go with Rozenstruik by TKO, even though Rozenstruik doesn't get many TKOs. I just think Tuivasa's washed. How old is Tuivasa? 31. He fights like he's 56. He doesn't fight, and he doesn't fight like he cares anymore, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with Jairzinho. He's gonna stick behind a jab and bust up Tuivasa to a dominant decision or KO him. So I'm gonna go with Jairzinho here. Not gonna overthink it. Bum Tuivasa is, obviously doesn't care anymore. So he's gonna come out, have like a round of fury. He doesn't get Jairzinho out of there. I feel like he's just gonna fold and succumb to the strikes or just get jabbed to death for 3 rounds. Gonna go Jairzinho here, and yeah. If I could pick one or the other, I would lean decision. I'm gonna give Tuivasa the benefit of the doubt, but would not be surprised to see him get TKO'd. Yeah. Moving on. We have Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. I think Hooker should get Russ fucked, but I think Gamrot could get upset here, eat a knee somehow, get out damaged one round badly. I don't know. All I know is Hooker's someone you don't want to sleep on, but he does have problems with grapplers historically in his career. Um, I mean, that gym has good takedown defense, but you're fighting guys like Puelas, who is only recently turned into a wrestler. When they fought, he was pulling guard. Like I don't know, Islam Makhachev beat him pretty soundly with his grappling. Um, yeah, it's hard to use because there hasn't been a lot of examples of him getting out grappled, but I do rate the wrestling of Gamrot. It's not something I want to play because Gamrot doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But and Hooker could get does get the home field advantage, so it's one of those fights where you don't want to bet on it, but you do think Gamrot's gonna win, um, logically. But logic doesn't always make sense in the UFC, so be careful with this one. Um, anything can happen. I like Dan. I think Dan's faced the who's who of the division. Gamrot as well. Um, I can see Gamrot winning by submission, so I'm gonna go Gamrot by decision, but I can see a submission. Moving on, we have Kai Car France taking on Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg, man, he showed his last fight against the champ. He's the real deal. The problem is his fight IQ at times isn't great. He was shooting takedowns on a grappler that was just trying to, hold on and sniff. He wasn't looking to do damage. Steve Erceg is a better fighter. Everyone knew that, but Pantoja got the decision on the night. Kai Car France, you won't be able to take him down. He has very, very good takedown defense. If Steve does get him down, it'll be very impressive. I think Steve and him will be having a chess match on the feet. Eileen Erceg, but it's very slight. I think it's a height thing. I think he's just gonna have the height advantage, punching down, and if he doesn't get chinned, I can see him winning a decision. It's a very close decision. Definitely not a fight I'm interested in betting, but I lean Erceg. I just think Erceg is a very, very good fighter, um, educated fighter, and I think you know I think he'll have the tools to win this fight, but definitely does worry me. His fight with Costa showed that he can't be hurt on the feet. His chin can't be high. He can be, vulnerable. So it's a close fight. I can see this going either way. Um, but yeah, I lean Erceg for now at least. The prediction could change along the week, a long fight week. Moving on, we have Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Duplessis. So Duplessis is the champ, but he's the underdog. I get it, and honestly, my pick is gonna be Adesanya, but to put some respect on the champ's name, I think it should be a little closer, more like a pick'ems. Dricus has done a lot in the sport. He beat the guy that beat Adesanya. You know, on paper he should, do well. But the problem is Dricus is an ape, and Israel historically beats apes. Paulo Costa. He beat Martin Vittori, and I know Dricus is a little like he's like the ultimate ape, so it's the ultimate test. But we'll see. I think Israel handles guys like this pretty well. I think it's one of those fights that Israel can put on a masterclass. I'm gonna go with Israel by TKO, but I am rooting for Duplessis. Not, I met both guys; they're both cool guys, but I don't know. Duplessis met my dad, so dad's gonna be rooting for Duplessis. Probably, I don't know. He always usually roots for the black guy. Um, but yeah, I think Israel Adesanya wins this fight by KO, but it's a fight I'm rooting for Dricus. But yeah, guys, let me give you guys my top five predictions and then get you guys out of here. Um, Number one, we have Tom Nolan. Number two, we have Jack Jenkins. Number three, we have Mateusz Gamrot. Number four, Kenan Song. Number five, Israel Adesanya. Alrighty, guys, like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time. Peace.